Tonight we have the pleasure and the honor of having Rabbi Silber here with us tonight from Baltimore. I have a feeling that most of you have heard him before, so you know that you're in for a treat. Tonight's shir is dedicated by Akiva and Karen Andrews to Rav Silber, his wife Aviva, and all his children coming to visit Israel. And though we would like them to be here permanently, starting yesterday, may all of their footsteps taken these precious few weeks in the land act like those of Avraham Avinu and cause the Rabbeinu Shel Olam, did I say that right? To bring the Ula a bit sooner. Amen. So without further ado, Rabbi Silber.
Good evening, everyone. So first, I want to thank Chana for organizing a number of emails back and forth. And it's always a privilege. It's always a privilege to come to Eretz Yisrael, and it's always a privilege to come and give shiurim at the OU Center and to see so many people from the It's amazing how, if you haven't seen someone in a long time, the best statistical probability for bumping into them is just come to Yerushalayim. Somehow, anyone and everyone with whom you've ever crossed paths somehow seems to find their way. Right as you're coming out somewhere, they're going in. And so, Baruch Hashem, it seems to be that the OU Center is a real nexus of where people who live here, people who live in Chutz La'aretz, are able to once again reconnect. It's always a beautiful spirit of achdus, a beautiful spirit of unity, a beautiful spirit of togetherness that permeates the walls of this sacred place, and it's a privilege to be here. I thank my good friends, Akiva and Karen, for dedicating the shir tonight, although I feel that I should really be dedicating it in their honor for all that they do, I'm sure for their community here, all that they do for our family, all that they do for our community back in Baltimore. In the zechus of the shir, Akiva and Karen, you should see incredible nachas from your mishpacha, much bracha, nachos, and brachos, much yiblos, so seichem ilo magdai. Amen. In preparing the shir tonight, I had two major things I had to think about. The first one, which was exceptionally heavy on my mind for the days leading up to the shir, was whether or not I should wear a jacket. I came in Eretz Yisrael, I always like to be like, I see Rabbi Adler is here, he looks so comfortable and so relaxed. And so, unrabbinic, but yet so holy, it's an incredible thing. So I don't want the jacket, so we'll see how long that lasts for. But the other piece is to figure out really what to speak about in this interesting time. As you know, it's vacation time. It's Bein Hazmanim. It's amazing. I have to say, although we come, Baruch Hashem, regularly to Eretz Yisrael, this is the first time in many years that we have come in the period between Tisha B'Av and Elul. And it's a dramatically different experience. Anywhere you go, throngs of people. Literally, and it's a beautiful thing to see how, in America, when you say Bein Hazmanim, so Bein Hazmanim refers to a very select part of the population. Those who learn in yeshiva, but there's no such thing as mass vacation between Tisha B'Av and Elul, and there's something beautiful to see about it. So on one hand, it's a relaxed time. On the other hand, the Jew doesn't hear with his ears. The Jew hears with his or her soul. So you begin to hear the footsteps of Elul. You begin to hear the faint sounds of the shofar already in this time. And so I always find it to be a little bit of a confusing time. On one hand, it's supposed to be relaxing. On one hand, again, it's supposed to be enjoyable. Yet, again, we're already beginning to feel, not the heaviness in a bad way, because heaviness sometimes sounds really negative, the awesomeness of the approaching days. So what I wanted to try to do tonight is to figure out how to frame Elul in a way in which you can begin to prepare even before Rosh Chodesh Elul. And you'll see why that's important. Take a look at number one. I want to start with a little bit of an obscure source. Number one is from the Hagol Sashri, Rabbi Yisrael of Krems. You can see again his little biography over here. So the Hagol Sashri is one of the most important commentaries on the on the Rosh. Remember the Rosh Rabbeinu Asher was one of the earliest codifiers of halacha. So the Rosh is commenting on a particular Gemara Bava Metzia. The Haggadah Hashri happens to bring down a different case. Listen to this case. Uma seira be'echad shekar bedil minogar apple becheskas bedil achasos kago. Very simple case. There was a Jew who bought bedil. What's bedil? Tin. He brought tin. Why did he buy tin? Because he wanted to fix his roof. He had some holes in his roof, so he bought some tin from a Gentile. What happened? So he bought the tin. Whatever the reason is, the Jew no longer had a use for the tin. So what did he do? He resold it. He sold it to another Jew who also needed tin. What happens? Now we'll call him Jew number one. Never opened up the tin, because I guess by the time that he bought it, he didn't really need it. He never opened the package. He simply resold the package to Jew number two. Jew number two opens up the package, and what happens? It turns out that in fact the package did not contain tin, but instead it contained silver. It contained silver. So what happens? So you can imagine what happens. Jew number one says, it's mine, right? It's mine. After all, again, it's what's called a mekachtos. It's a flawed sale. I had in mind to sell you tin, but instead I ended up selling you silver. The transaction is void, and I want my silver back. So this was an actual case that came up. Uparcha Harab Eliezer Mimitz, one of the great halachic commentators, Eliezer Mimitz said, no, the halacha is Jew number two gets to keep it. Why does Jew number two get to keep it? Because listen to this. Rabbi Eliezer Mimitz said, Jew number one never really acquired it. Why did he never acquire it? My friends, listen to these words very carefully. Because says Rabbi Eliezer Mimitz, you cannot acquire something which you do not understand. You cannot acquire something if you don't understand what the something is. Therefore, Rabbi Eliezer Mimitz, together with the Rabbeinu Tam, both said, Jew number one thought he bought in. He never opened the package. Therefore, he never ultimately acquired the silver. Therefore, he can't say mekachtos, he can't say avoidable sale. And therefore, Jew number two gets to keep it. Why am I bringing this down for you? We're not having a halachic discussion tonight. Because if you take it number two, look at number two, the Beis Yaakov, who was one of the Rebbes of Ishbitz. The Ishbitzer says so beautifully, Nimsa Lamedin. We learn a very important hashkafic concept from this halachic discussion. Sha'af misha'im lohom, which, by the way, just as an aside, it's always important to understand that whenever you learn halacha, Jewish law, is never just a series of do's or don'ts. Jewish law are the ways that the rabbis try to give us a system of morality and ethics that are embedded in a legal system. So whenever you learn a halacha, person always has to say, yes, mutter, aser, kasher, treif, tamei, tahar. Of course, you have to ask those questions. But on the deeper level, the person has to understand what is the ethical lesson that halacha is teaching. Says the Ishbitzer, this halacha is teaching us something amazing. Ninsel Maiden. We learn from here, even if someone has a great treasure, literally in his hands, you cannot acquire the treasure unless you know what the treasure is. The days of Elul are great exalted days. When Elul comes, it's like you struck the spiritual jackpot. When Elul comes, each of us have won the spiritual lottery. The power of Elul is simply indescribable. However, but if you don't understand what the treasure is, if you don't understand what Chodesh Elul is, if I don't know what the avodah, what the sacred service of this month is, then I'm like Jew number one who sold the tin. It turned out that it was silver, but because he never knew it was silver, he never actually acquired it. The Yishar in B'dil Kafi Machshavto Harishon. Says the Ishbitzer so beautifully. There's sometimes in life, I'm going to take all questions at the end. Sometimes in life, we have a beautiful treasure right at our fingertips. But because we don't understand it, because we don't know it, because we can't comprehend it, we think we have tin, when in fact we have a beautiful storehouse of silver. This is why it's exceptionally important to prepare for Elul. You know, lahavdil, if a person has a big business meeting, I'll give this business mashal. If there's a businessman here, you can tell me if it's correct or not. I'm not a businessman, I'm a simple Jew. But I would imagine, if you have a big business meeting, and you're going to meet with your investors because you want to raise venture capital, no one prepares for that meeting on the car ride to the meeting. And chances are, if you're preparing for that meeting, on the way to the meeting, either you're exceptional or you're going to be an abysmal failure. And I would venture to say most times, it's going to be an abysmal failure. What you get out of life, any life experience, is directly proportional to the amount of preparation you put in. See, you know what happens sometimes? We wait to get into the Elul mood, or we wait to understand Elul after Rosh Chodesh. For many of us, again, when we hear the blowing of the shofar on that second day of Rosh Chodesh, oh, Elul's here. Yomim Noraim's here, it's time to prepare. No. Says the Ishbitzer. If you want to prepare, preparation starts now. You know, in the Svarim, in the Hasidic literature, they say that the Yomim Noraim begin on Yud B'Av. Right after Tisha B'Av is over, the Yomim Noraim begin. Now that's not a very popular stance, but it's an incredibly telling stance, because what it's saying is that if I want to maximize my Chodesh Elul, preparation has to begin before Tuesday, before Monday and Tuesday. Preparation begins tonight. So what I'd like to try to frame a little bit this evening for the few minutes we have together is, what is the avoda? What is it that we are supposed to accomplish? What is it that we're supposed to focus on over the course of the month of Elul? Now obviously, each of us have our own personal work we have to do. I'm not talking about that. That's our own business between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I mean in a klaliistic way, in a general sense, in the panoramic view of Elul. What is the avoda? What are the foci of Chodesh Elul? So I want to bring down three different ideas tonight. Number one, which starts with source number 3. Perhaps the most famous idea in Chodesh Elul, Ani l'dodi v'dodi li hara b'shoshanim. So this is taken from Shir Hashirim, Pasuk Perek Vav, Pasuk Gimel, Ani l'dodi v'dodi li, I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine. And you can see again, I underline the first letters, Rashi Tevos, Elul. Elul, I am my beloved is mine. So obviously, what does this refer to? So the most basic level, it seems to refer to the idea that Chodesh Elul is a time of incredible spiritual intimacy. That Chodesh Elul is the opportunity to connect with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I know this is going to sound a little bit strange, but Hashem HaKadosh brings down that the ability to connect with God during Elul is even greater than Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, which is you'll invite me back next year. We can speak about that topic next year, Hashem. For right this year, you'll just take my word for it. So that's Ani l'dodi v'dodi li. God is called by many different names. We call HaKadosh Baruch Hu Avinu, our Father. We call him Malkeinu. We call God many different names. Sometimes God is referred to the masculine, sometimes the feminine. But this idea of Ani l'dodi, calling God my beloved, represents the idea that Chodesh Elul represents the opportunity for intense spiritual connection, an intimate connection, a loving connection, a passionate connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu that perhaps is not available throughout the rest of the year. Now again, I want to point out something interesting to you. If you look at number 4, there's another pasuk in Shir Hashirim. The pasuk says, Dodi li v'ani lo. So this is actually very interesting. So you can see number 3 is on Parak Vav, pasuk Gimel. Number 4 is Parak Beis, pasuk Tezayin. Dodi li, my beloved is mine, v'ani lo, and I am his. So you notice again the reverse order. In number 3, it's Ani l'dodi v'dodi li. I am to my beloved is to me. Number 4 is Dodi li, my beloved is to me, and I am to him. What's the difference in these experiences? If you take a look at number 5, the Malbim says, Dodi v'yan shepo ba'is orus milamalo l'mata ki hanefesh lo haisa muchenes el hanavua amar Dodi li tchila v'achar kach ani lo. So the Malbim has a magnificent interpretation. The Malbim says that number 4 refers to a state where I am not in a state of spiritual preparedness. What happens when the Jew doesn't feel holy? What happens when the Jew is not in the right spiritual frame of mind? What happens when I'm not living the way I should, doing the things I should? What is my relationship with God in those moments when I feel a little bit like in the valleys of life? To which Shlomo HaMelech tells us, don't worry, dodi li v'ani lo. Even when I am not on the top of my spiritual game, even when I am not inspired, lest you think that my lack of inspiration creates a distance between myself and God. That's not the case. Because even when I am not making my way to God, what's happening? God makes his way to me. So the amazing part over here, says the Malbim, is that numbers 3 and 4 are referring to perhaps one of the most striking dialectics that exist within Yiddishkeit, which is, who is searching for who? Is it our job to search for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, or is it the Ribono Shel Olam's job to search for us? And the answer is both. Amazingly enough, there is this incredible tension that exists. In fact, if you take a look in number 6, just a few weeks ago, what did we say at the end of Eicha? Hashivenu Hashem Eilecha ben Ashuva, Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem. What does that mean? What a chutzpah! What a chutzpah! Hashivenu Hashem Eilecha ben Ashuva. God, bring us back to you, and we'll return. What a chutzpah! I know we're in Eretz Yisrael, but it's still a chutzpah. Right? It's such a chutzpah. Where I'm telling God, bring me back to you. You know what? If I was God and someone said that to me, you know what I would say? Well, you should bring yourself back. Right? What do you mean? It's my job. It's God's job to bring me back. If I want God, I should bring myself back. But yet, what do we say on Tisha B'Av? On Tisha B'Av, Ribono Shel Olam, sometimes I'm so lost. Sometimes I'm so far gone. Ribono Shel Olam, sometimes I've lost my life. My friends, we've all had moments like this, where we feel so lost. I feel like I've totally lost direction in life, to the point that I don't even know how to get back on the main road. I've been driving on the shoulder, and I've taken so many detours that I forgot where I'm going. So in those moments, I say, Ribono Shel Olam, Hashivenu Hashem Eilecha ben Ashuva. Ribono Shel Olam, I need you to bring me back to you. I need you to bring me back to you. You know, there's a beautiful Karabach Niggun. I'm not going to sing it, but there's a beautiful Karabach Niggun to Melech Rachamon. We say it in the Yom Tov Tfilos. Melech Rachamon, Rachem Aleinu. Compassionate King, have compassion upon us. Tohu Meitiv, you are the God who does good and bestows good. Hidaresh Lanu. Hidaresh Lanu. Find us. Shuva Aleinu, right? Seek us out. So Shlomo Zeh Tzaddik the Bracha said, he composed the tune to that niggun. He said one time he was traveling, and he saw a young man who looked like a runaway. Looked disheveled, and he heard him on the phone, and Shlomo surmised that he must have been calling his parents. And he assumed the conversation, the parents were asking him, where are you? Where are you? To which the young man responded, I don't know where I am, but you just have to come and find me. And Shlomo said, sometimes that's what happens to us in life also. Sometimes we get so lost, so far gone. So Ribono Shel Olam, I don't even know where I am, but you know where I am. And wherever I am, I need you just to come and get me. Hashivenu Hashem Eilecha ben Ashuva. I can't get back on my own. I need you to come. I need you to find me. I need you to swoop me up. I need you to hold me. I need you to hug me. And I just need you to bring me back to you. That's the experience of Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av is a time of such sorrow. Tisha B'Av is a time of such profound grief and sadness and loss that we feel so forsaken, so alone, so forlorn, that I don't even know how to get back. That's when we end Eicha. Hashivenu Hashem Ribono Shel Olam. I want to come home. I just don't know how to get there. So when I'm asking you, God, because I don't know how to get there. I'm asking you to come and find me, bring me home, and I promise you, if you just collect me, if you just bring me back, if you just seek me out, I promise you, I love you, and I want to be by your side. I'm going to serve you. I'm going to do good. I'm going to do better this time. But I need you to find me. That dialectic, but yet, take a look at number 7. Shir Rabbis, Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael. B'ni, Pischuli Pesach Echad Shel Tshuva Kichuda Shel Echad. Yet what does God tell us? God tells us, children, I need you to open up for me an opening. Baal Shem tells us, listen guys, I need you to do something. I need you to take that first step. Open up for me just an opening the size of an eye of a needle. Just do something. Just take some step towards me. That's all. I don't need perfection. I don't even need close to perfection. I don't even need great. To be honest, I don't even need good. I just need something. Take a step towards me. So you see this dialectic. You see this tension. Am Yisrael saying to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashivenu Hashem Elecha Ben Hashuva Chadei Shalom, bring us back, right? Dodi li v'ani lo. And yet HaKadosh Baruch Hu telling us, Ani l'dodi v'dodi li. Pischli Pesach Kimechat. This incredible dialectic as to who has to take the first step. So Tisha B'Av is Klal Yisrael asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please take the first step to bring us back. Chodesh Elul is where HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, okay, I brought you back on Tisha B'Av. We're still here. You know, isn't that the amazing thing? On Tisha B'Av we sit on the phone and we cry for 2,000 years. For 2,000 years of heartbreak and tragedy. And I don't have to tell anyone here. It would be one thing if all of it was historical tragedy. But the fact that we saw a churban occur in the Solomon household on Shabbos night, just a week before Tisha B'Av, these are not historical tragedies. We mourn the things that happened Bazman Hazeh to this very day. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, okay, I brought you back on Tisha B'Av. Now Chodesh Elul, I need you to take the first step. First lesson of Chodesh Elul is the idea that if we want the spiritual intimacy of Chodesh, if we want the spiritual intimacy with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we have to be proactive in our relationship with God. See, I'll tell you something very interesting. Thank God, I get to meet a lot of wonderful people. I have yet to meet a person who doesn't want to be inspired. Everyone wants inspiration. But you know what? You don't have Amazon Prime here in Israel, do you?
Not yet.
I mean, not yet. Okay. So this is something that's just absolutely amazing to me. You know, so in the Golos, you know, you could order toilet paper and it could be in your house in 3 minutes. I mean, there's everything in life, everything in modern day society has been about how can I get serviced, and how can I get serviced faster. I want what I want it now, and I don't want to have to wait. The notion of exertion, the notion of effort is a bad word. That stands in contradistinction to core Judaic values. In Yiddishkeit we believe that if you want something meaningful in life, you have to be willing to work for it. What the essence of Chodesh Elul is that if we want a meaningful relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if you want inspiration, so I was saying before, everybody wants inspiration. But you know what the amazing thing is? People assume that inspiration just pops into your heart. The person says, okay, I'm going to sit down on the couch, clearing my mind, I'm ready to be inspired. I'm even going to put down the remote, just to show you how serious I'm about inspiration. I'm going to put down the remote, fill me up, Ribbon Shalom. Fill it up. I'm going to take a heavy dose of inspiration. Some inspiration works. You want inspiration, you have to work, and guess what? To get inspired requires many, many, many days, sometimes weeks, sometimes months, sometimes years of uninspired avodas Hashem. And then one day, the light bulb goes off. One day, the soul is kindled. One day, the fire begins to burn. It doesn't just come. Yeah, you could go to a Karl Bachman, you could get inspiration, but guess what? How long does that inspiration last for? Right? You're lucky if it's still there the next morning. Let's be honest, right? You can go to the Shabbaton. There are beautiful moments of inspiration, but only inspiration that stays with you is the inspiration you work for. Any inspiration that is conferred upon you will simply exit as quickly as it came. Therefore, again, what Chazal are trying to teach us is Elul is Ani l'dodi v'dodi li. What does that pasuk represent? We take the first step. Own your spirituality. Don't wait for someone else to inspire you. Don't wait for someone else to inspire you. It's not the rabbi's job. It's not your teacher's job. It's not your spouse's job. It's not your chavrusa's job. Own your spirituality. Ani lidodi v'dodi li. If I say Ribono Shel Olam, I'm in this relationship. And you know, when you're in a relationship, you can't just say you're in a relationship. Being in a relationship means being present. Being present means that you're not just on Sundays, Tuesdays, and alternate Fridays. But being in a relationship means 24/7, Ribono Shel Olam, I am engaged with you. If we want a meaningful relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, especially in this Chodesh El Yomim Noraim, Ribono Shel Olam says, I need you to show me you want it by taking the first step. Up until now, Chodesh Tisha B'Av was Dodi Li V'Ani Lo. We were broken. We are broken. Hashivinu Hashem Elecha L'Shuva. God, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what to do. You need to bring me in. It's fine. I did my part. Now it's the month of Ani L'Dodi V'Dodi Li. Lesson number one for Chodesh Elul is that this has to be the month of proactive, spiritual, divine engagement. We can't wait for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to do something. We can't wait for someone else to inspire us. But instead, again, Chodesh Elul is the month of proactive, dynamic, spiritual activity. Lesson one. Take a look at number 8. So on the second page, according to me, again here, another incredible pasuk from Megillas Esther. So this is a lesser-known remes to Chodesh Elul. So at the end of the Megillah says, Kayom asher nochu b'ham ha'Yehudim ha'Yeveim, v'achodesh asher napach lahem yom v'simcha me'elo yom tov, la'asos osem yemei nishta v'simcha mishlach manos ish l're'ehu u'matchanos li'evyonim. So this is looking at the pasuk of Megillas Esther, where the Megillah says, after the incredible, I don't want to ruin the end of the story for you, but Baruch Hashem Yimon. So again, so these days that were supposed to be catastrophic days of destruction, Kadosh Baruch Hu turned around to be miraculous salvation. And what happens? Mordechai and Esther, and ultimately Ashkenaz Zagdola, declared these days to be days of mishta, simcha, happiness, joy, celebration, mishlach manos, sending of food packages, Ish l're'ehu, one person to his fellow, u'matanos li'evyonim, and gifts to the poor. So again, you can see the underlying letters, Ish alif l're'ehu lamid, vav matanos le'evyonim lamid. Rashi Tevos for Elul. What does this have to do with Chodesh Elul? Right, matamishloach manos and matanos le'evyonim, gifts to the poor, food packages. What does this have to do with Chodesh Elul? So take a look at number 8. The Chasam Sofer has a beautiful idea. The Chasam Sofer says, why is it that the rabbis instituted, or first Mordechai and Esther, instituted that Yeshim Mishloach Manos on Purim? See, he says, in Aleph Laharbos HaShalom B'Hareos. The whole point of Mishloach Manos and Matronos Le'Evyonim is to go ahead and create bonds of unity. Hefech Margaliso Shalatzar Sha'amar Mefuzar Umefur. Remember again, how does Haman malign the Jewish people? He says to Achashverosh, look at these people. They're a minority. They're dispersed amongst the kingdom, yet they still don't get along. So we show Haman, you're so wrong. We do get along. We have different opinions. We have different hashkafas. We have different shitas. We have different approaches in life. But at the end of the day, we love each other. At the end of the day, when you put all the differences aside, every single Jew loves his or her fellow Jew. How do we show that? By Mishlach Manos, Ishre'ehu, U'matchanos le'evyonim. So what are Chazal trying to teach us? When ultimately, again, they find a remez, they find a hint to Elul in Mishlach Manos and Matchanos le'evyonim to teach us that the other avoda of Chodesh Elul is Bein Adam L'Chavero. That this is a month you see very often when we get to Chodesh Elul. We've often become spiritual introverts, and understandably so, because we're preparing ourselves for judgment. Because there's a lot that happens on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. There's a lot I have to change, there's a lot I have to adjust, a lot I have to rectify. This is about me. What Chazal trying to teach us is that no, it's not just about you. Part of the tshuva of Elul, part of the avodah of Elul, is to make sure that we're doing right and we're doing good by the other. To examine our interpersonal relationships. How are we treating our loved ones? How are we treating our neighbors? How are we treating those with whom we don't agree with? How do we relate to Jews with whom we do not necessarily share all of the same values or outlooks on life? Elul is not just about me as an individual. My success in Elul is based on my Mishlach Manos, Ish l're'ehu matanos le'evyonim. Is my life about me, or do I look out for the underprivileged? Is my life about me, or do I try to forge beautiful bonds with other Jews? It is easy to get along with people who look like you, who believe like you, who practice like you, who have the same political views like you, but that's not what it means to be part of the nation. What it means to be part of Am Yisrael is that you find a way to love every single Jew. Now, you don't have to be friends with every single Jew. You don't have to invite every single Jew to your Shabbos table. You don't have to invite them to your smachot, but you have to love them. You know, you could vehemently disagree with someone and love them with all of your heart. You could have dramatically different life views and life hashkafas, but still love them with every fiber of your being. That's v'ahavta d're'acha kamocha. Part of our Avot and Chodesh Elul is to ask ourselves, how are we getting along with other Jews? Are we doing enough outreach? And I don't mean outreach to go ahead and make people firmer. That's not what I mean. I mean outreach to make people feel loved. Outreach to make people feel connected. Outreach to make people feel accepted wherever they may be holding in life. That's part of the Avot and Chodesh Elul as well. So you're asking yourself, but what does that have to do with Chodesh Elul? Isn't this about spiritual improvement, working on myself as an individual? So I'll show you something amazing. Take a look at number 9. So the pasuk in Bamidbar says, "V'nosa degel machane b'nei Dan, ma'asek v'chala machanos etzivosam, v'al tzivaho achi ezer ben amishadai." So the pasuk here tells us what at first glance appears to be a very simple and uninspiring piece of information, which is we know the tribes camped in a particular order in the desert, and they traveled in that same order as well. Who was the last tribe? Who brought up the rear? It was Dan. It was Dan. So Rashi, the Gemara, why? Why Dan? Why was Dan the last of the tribes? So Rashi points out it quotes the Yerushalmi. Tam Yerushalmi, if Yishai Shvado Shadan, Meruba Bo'uchlusim, Hayinosei Bachrona, V'chomisha Hayra Machadi Davar Hayamach Ziralo. So it's very simple. Dan apparently was one of the larger tribes and also had a lot of property. So as such, again, they traveled in the back, and whoever went ahead and lost something, the lost object would be found by Shevet Dan and would be returned by Shevet Dan as well. But the Aznainotor of Suratskin, I apologize, I didn't have the sefer with me in Eretz Yisrael, so I couldn't put it on. But Rav Suratskin, the Aznainotor, says something absolutely amazing. He says, you know, Dan was also known for something else. Dan was one of the tribes who were most steeped in idolatry. All the tribes struggled with idolatry. Well, now, many of the tribes struggled with idolatry throughout the ages. Dan already, again, from the time they were in Egypt, left Egypt, brought idols with them, they were struggling with idolatry the whole time. So Suratsky and Zechatzad says something absolutely amazing. He says that Ribono Shalom realized that they were spiritually struggling. So how did HaKadosh Baruch Hu help them with their spiritual struggle? He said to Shevet Dan, you guys help others. And by helping other people, that will lift you up spiritually as well. You see, we often think that the pathway to spiritual growth is paved inwardly. Is what am I going to do? What kind of work do I have to do? How do I work on myself? And that's true. But there's another way to uplift yourself spirituality, and that's by helping others. The more you roll up your sleeves and do for the other, the more you try to help and uplift the other, the more you try to understand the struggles and try to ameliorate the suffering or difficulties of the other, that not only helps someone else, but that lifts you up spiritually as well. And as such, again, the second motif of Chodesh Elul is this Mishloach Manos Ishtrei Ehu Matros Levyonim. If this is the month where we're supposed to get our inspiration back, if this is the month we're supposed to light the fire again, yes. Number 1 was proactive, divine, dynamic engagement. I have to take the first step. Motif number 2, it's not just about me. When you do chesed for others, that lifts you up also. When you look out for the other, that lifts you up also. When you're about tzedakah, and I say tzedakah, I don't mean just with your money. Sometimes the greatest tzedakah we do is not with a checkbook. Sometimes the greatest tzedakah you do is when you give someone an ear, when you give someone a shoulder to cry on, when you give someone a hug, when you give someone a shalom aleichem, when you give someone a Shabbos invitation. When you live a life that is not inwardly focused, but instead is focused on the other. That's Elul. Ishtarei Ehu Matros Levyonim. This is not just about me and what I have to perfect in myself. This is about how I can roll up my sleeves and help my people as well. So therefore, motif number 2 in Chodesh Elul is, are we Ba'alei Chesed? Are we doing enough to help the other? You know, we're all busy people. And sometimes when you're very busy, it's very easy to become inwardly focused. Chodesh Elul is when we have to take a step back and we ask ourselves, am I living a life just for myself? Or does my life, in all of its facets and aspects, revolve around the other as well. Motif number 3. So if you take a look, there's a line, I should have numbered it, but in between sources 10 and 11. So there's another pasuk. This is from Parshas Maseh, and this is by the Ir Miklat, the city of refuge. So know that the halacha is that if someone, God forbid, kills another person accidentally, the halacha is that they go to a city of refuge. And again, without getting into all the details right now, they go to the city of refuge. So what does the pasuk say? Listen to this. Vasher lo tzada. So if you have someone who, again, did not, God forbid, intentionally kill someone, va'elokim ino liyodo. Literally means God moved his hands. V'samti lecha makom asher sham. I will give you a place that you could escape to. I will give you a place that you could flee to. So again, you see the underlined letters? Ina liyodo v'samti lecha. Right? Aleph, Lamed, Vav, Lamed, which spells, I know you're getting the hang of this, Elul. Right? So what does this mean? That somehow Elul is the Ir Miklat. Elul is the city of refuge for the Jew. What does this mean? So take a look at number 11. This is actually quite beautiful. So the pasuk again in Dvarim, speaking about the Ir Miklat, says, L'nos shama rotzeach asher yirtzach asreyu bivli das. Who goes to the Ir Miklat? Who goes to the city of refuge? It is the person who murders his fellow bivli das. So the translation here is unintentionally, but literally, how would you literally translate bivli das? Right? Without concentration or without intent. Das usually means intent. Without intent or without das. Das also means thought. Without thought. So I want to show you something amazing. Take a look at number 12. This is from Rabbi Eliezer Kashtiel, who is the Rosh Hashiva of Bnei David in Eli. See, he says something absolutely beautiful here. He puts out a parsha essay every week, which is just magnificent. See, he says the following. He says, look at paragraph Aleph. Look at paragraph base. Hagol siyam etakenes. See, you know in Judaism, we do not believe in punitive punishment. In Judaism, we only believe in rehabilitative punishment. That's why, amazingly enough, what does not exist in the, we'll call it the judicial system or penal system, what doesn't exist?
Prison.
Jail. There's only 2 references to jail in the Torah, and that's the 2 times where you had someone do something, Moshe Rabbeinu did not know what to do with the individual. The Makoshesh, the person who violated Shabbos publicly, and the Makal, the person who cursed someone with the shame of Hashem, the name of Hashem. And both times the Torah says, Vayanechu b'mishmar, Moshe Rabbeinu put him in jail, Ki lo porash ma ya'aseh. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know what to do with them. So it seems to be that in Judaism, the only thing we have is a holding cell. There's a holding cell, but there's no jail. Why is there no jail? Because Judaism discovered a very long time ago that putting someone in a cage for a prolonged period of time does not help them. The emotional punishes us like a parent punishes a child. The point of the punishment is supposed to be rehabilitative. The point of the punishment is supposed to help to refine me. So therefore, again, so the question obviously is if somebody is killing accidentally, they have to go to Gulf, they have to go to exile. The question is, why do they need exile? What does that do? And Rav Kashtur writes something so beautiful. He says, Hagolos, paragraph base, Hagolos yam mitakenes, Hamishanes ha'atzav shachol sradas. Rav Kashtur says something so beautiful. He says the Torah is telling us, when the Torah says in number 11, Bivli das is not just a description of the act. Right? That the act was done without intent. But Bivli das is actually descriptive of the problem. How did a person get himself into this situation to begin with? And that is why? Because he's not paying attention in life. Bivli das doesn't just describe the act of the accidental murder. Bivli das refers to a state of being of a person who is living life on cruise control. He goes on, Rega shel choser das, bzu b'diuk habayot. The living life without paying attention even for a moment is exactly the problem. Lochein gola mi bivli das omar navi. Hagolos shal misot, skip a little bit. Hagolos hatiltolosh shel adam hanekar mimkom ha'tevi. What is golos? Golos, exile, says I have to remove myself from my known circumstances and surroundings. Mizrimas chayav harigila. Your Hebrew is better than mine. Look at this beautiful. Mizrimas, from the flow of normative life. Mishagra shura dava, from the framework in which I normally exist. Pitom mit overes osol machshav. So you understand what Rav Kashtil is describing over here? How is it that a person comes to a life of bivli das? How is it that a person comes to a life where they're not thinking? There's no thought that goes into how they're living, what they're doing, and it's very simple because it happens to many of us all of the time. You get into a rhythm, right? You get into a lifestyle and you just keep going. And again, we all have weeks like this where you can't believe the week went by, and then when you look back, it was just a series of repeating patterns. Wake up, go to work, come home, eat, go to sleep. Wake up, go to... Sounds like most of our lives. Hey, and what happens? Oh, here's the amazing part. Sometimes those days combine to weeks. Weeks combine to months, and months combine to years. And the person wakes up one day and they ask themselves, where did all of the time go? You know, I have many zechuyos in my job, but one of the most awesome things I have is I often spend time with people in their final moments. And the number of people who express remorse about not having lived the lives they wanted to live, not having done the things they wanted to do, and wondering one simple question: where did all of the time go? Unfortunately, that is a manifestation of bivli das. Sometimes we get just into the framework of life, the zerima, the flow, because we're busy, a lot of stuff, get into the flow, and sometimes I just stop paying attention because the days are just simply melting one into the next. And then I wonder, where did all my life go? So says Rav Kashtil, this person committed an act of accidental bloodshed because he wasn't paying attention. There's a lack of attentiveness in his life. So what's the remedy if you're living life bivli das? What's the remedy? The remedy is you need to break your flow. You need to disrupt the flow of your existence. So what the Torah says is, we're going to pluck you out of the framework of your life, and we're going to put you somewhere else. Because by putting you somewhere else, what does that do? That forces the individual to what? To contemplate, to think, to cogitate over the nature, the quality, the trajectory of their life. Mashu nistak b'sha'anos. Mashu ishtabish v'chai v'yom yomim. Hashotem v'pitom anasas. Says Krishna, first of all, it's one of the most magnificent interpretations of Galus. In general, again, it's not punitive. It's rehabilitative. It's cathartic. We're saying, Jew, never. You fell asleep at the wheel. You're living life bivli das. You're not paying attention. You're not being attentive to what you're doing and how you're doing it. So this needs to be remedied because this time you did something accidental. It was an accident. But you're still responsible because how can you live a life with bivli das? How can you live a life without attentiveness, not paying attention? We're going to take you out of the framework of the life you've created yourself. We're going to put you in an alien environment because that is going to force you to contemplate and to think about the nature, quality, and trajectory of your life. Therefore, see this term something absolutely amazing, which is this is Chodesh Elul. What is Chodesh Elul? Chodesh Elul ultimately, again, remember that's between numbers 10 and 11. That's the pasuk. V'asher lo tzada ve'elokim ino li'odo v'samti l'cha makom. Elul is the ir miklat. Elul is the city of refuge. What does that mean? That Elul is the month that gives us the opportunity to say, stop. I need to take a step back, and I need to examine how I am living my life. What am I doing? What are my dreams? What are my aspirations? What are my goals? What do I want to accomplish with my existence? How do I want to change the world? How do I want to impact, as we said before, the life of the other? See, my friends, very often we don't think about these things because we're stuck in the zerima sachayim. We're stuck just in the flow of things. Chodesh Elul is the ir miklat. It's the time to take a step back and to ask ourselves the difficult question about how am I living? And I want to be clear. You know, a person could ask themselves the question, and very often I can say to myself, well, look, here's the good news. I'm not violating any averos. Baruch Hashem, I'm not mechal Shabbos, I'm eating kosher, I'm not wearing shatnez, I'm doing all of these wonderful things, right? I'm doing... Thank you. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. You know, but just because I'm not committing any averos doesn't mean that I'm maximizing my life. So I could be a kind of person who is doing all, and again, I could even be doing positive things. Tefillin, check, tzitzis, check, tzedakah, check. I'm doing all the things that God wants of me. But you could be doing good deeds, avoiding averos. But that doesn't mean you're actualizing your potential. It doesn't mean that you're maximizing your time on this earth. And therefore, again, Chodesh Elul is a time, it's our Ir Miklat, it's our city of refuge, where we have to try to break the momentum, try to break the flow of everyday life and to examine, where am I going? What's the plan? What's the plan? You know, imagine for a moment if you were walking out of the shir tonight, somebody were to ask you, what's your life mission statement? What's your life mission statement? And it can't be something like Hokir, solve world hunger. I want to change. Something real. Something real. What's your life mission statement? Most people can't articulate their life mission statement. If you can't articulate the life mission statement, then how do you know what you're supposed to be doing? If you don't have a goal, if you don't have dreams of aspirations, so where are you working towards? What are you trying to accomplish? Chodesh Elul is the Ir Miklat. It breaks the momentum, breaks the rhythm, and allows us ultimately to re-examine what we're doing, how we're living, and where we're going. These are the three motifs of Chodesh Elul. Number one, proactive divine engagement. Tisha B'Av Baruch Hu engaged us. Elul is where we have to engage the Ribono Shel Olam. But Elul can't just be about my own self-elevation. Elul is if I have to ask myself, what am I doing for the other? How am I helping the other in a variety of different ways? Am I a Klal Yisrael Jew, or am I just a neighborhood Jew? You know the difference between that, right? So a neighborhood Jew is someone who's a good Jew in his or her neighborhood, which is a good thing. A Klal Yisrael Jew is someone who says, I need to do something just beyond the neighborhood. I need to figure out how to positively impact Klal Yisrael in some dramatic, it doesn't have to grab headlines, but in some beautiful, dramatic way. And number three, Elul is our Ir Miklat. Elul is our time, ultimately, again, our city of refuge, where we have the ability to take a step back and re-examine how we're living, what we're doing, and what our dreams and aspirations are. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, these things I need like 4 months of Elul in order to be able to accomplish these things. So I want to spend the last 5 minutes we have just with one last thought. Now that we have the three motifs, ultimately, again, how to actually, this is a tall order. Accomplishing one of these things is an incredible thing, let alone contemplating, accomplishing also. Now that we know, and again, I want to point out there's many more motifs to Elul. I've just given you 3 of my personal favorites, but there's many more. But what do we do with this information? Now, I'm going to end with this. Take a look at number 13. There's a pasuk in Yeshayahu. The Navi says, Kol Amar Hashem, Hanosim Bayam Derech U'B'mayim Ozim Nesiva. So said the Lord, who made a way in the sea and the path in the mighty waters. What is this pasuk talking about? Yeshayahu is telling Klal Yisrael that although times are difficult, Geula will come. Redemption will come, salvation will come, and the Baruch Hu is going to redeem us. But the Navi says, I know what you're thinking. Sure, we've had so much difficulty, so much suffering. How do I know that God is really going to redeem us? To which the Navi Yeshayahu says, the same way, the same God who allowed us to cross the Red Sea, the same God who allowed us to cross the Jordan River into Eretz Yisrael, the same God who made a path in the mighty waters, God has proven himself. God has come through for everyone. God has delivered us from difficult circumstances. That same God who delivered us from past difficult circumstances will once again deliver us from our difficult circumstances as well. Beautiful pasuk. Skip down to number 16, just because of time. The Ari says something amazing. He says, Hanosim Bayam Derech Ze Chodesh Elul. Now the Ari HaKadosh, made many cryptic statements. So this is one of his cryptic statements. So he says, what does it mean, Hanosim Bayam Derech, that God makes a path in the sea? That refers to Chodesh Elul. Thank you, Arizal. Right? So what does that mean? I know that God places a road in the sea. Somehow the road in the sea, this refers to Chodesh Elul. So listen to this. We learn an incredible, this week's parasha. We learn an incredible halacha about the sea. The Torah teaches us in number 17. This is Parshas Re'eh. So the Torah is teaching us about the signs of kosher animals, specifically here are the signs of kosher fish. Kol asher yishlo snapir bekaskeses tochei. What's the halacha with the fish? As long as it has fins and scales, so you can eat it. So number 18 in Gemara has a fascinating question. Listen to this question. By the way, question is, What happens if you have a fish that has fins and scales while it's in the water, but it loses, this happens with scales, when it comes out of the water? When I was in South Africa, they told me that this question came up, I believe they call it the kingfish.
Kingclip.
Right, the kingfish.
That's kingclip.
Kingclip,
Yeah.
right? It has the scales in the water, but the moment you take it out, the scales somehow fall off. Someone asked this question already. So again, what happens if you have a fish? So Torah tells me that the simanim of a kosher fish are fins and scales. So what happens if the fish has the simanim in the water, but it doesn't have the simanim when you take it out of the water? So what does the Gemara say? Look at the last two words, number 18. Harei ze mutter. As long as it has the simanim when it's in the water, then that's okay.
Bamayim.
I'm sorry?
You see that on the word bamayim? In the word bamayim.
Saying in the pasuk it shows it too.
Bye-bye. Oh, right, good. So good, thank you. So the Arizal says something amazing. So what does this mean when he said, he says, Elul is like the water. What does this mean? You know, one of the greatest challenges to spiritual growth, let's be honest, we're amongst friends here. The greatest challenge to spiritual growth is sustainability. And the question that always looms in the back of my mind is, okay, I've been through this rodeo. I've done this rodeo before, right? It's not my first rodeo. Meaning, I know how this works. I get inspired in Elul. Rosh Hashanah is great. Yom Kippur is great. Sukkot is mamish le'ilah. Then what happens? Cheshvan comes. It's cold outside. It's cold inside. By Hanukkah comes, pretty much like I already feel myself regressing back to where I was. And comes Tu B'Shvat, forget about it. Purim, I forgot that there even was Rosh Hashanah. Right? But it's okay, I start getting, and that's often how it happens for me. And that's it feels very defeating. Because I feel like every year I go through the same exact process of growth, elevation, inspiration, and come back down. And so sometimes a person says, what's the point of trying if it's not sustainable? To which the Arizal says, Elul, Yomim Noroi, is like the water. What does that mean? The kashrus of the fish just depends on what it has when it's in the water. Don't worry about what happens when it comes out of the water. You know, there's a famous, I don't know if it's a song or it might be a statement of the sages, you know, don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Yeah, you might have heard it. Right? Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. I think that if Jews wrote that statement, there'd be a better statement would be, please stop thinking about tomorrow. You can't live life worrying about what's going to be. You can't live life worrying about, well, if I start this now, is it going to be sustainable? You know, my friends, the real truth is, there are no guarantees in life. Many of us know that in very acute and heartbreaking ways. There is no way to tell what the future holds, and there is no one who can tell us where we're going to be, think about 5 years from now, tomorrow. And therefore, again, try to go ahead and figure out what is sustainable spirituality sometimes is an exercise in futility. Instead, what the Jew focuses on is today. And that's what the Aliyah Kodesh is saying. Hanosim bayam derech. Do you want to know what Chodesh Elul is? It's not just Chodesh Elul, Yomim Noraim. It's like the sea. It's like the sea. Meaning, what do you mean? It's like the fish in the sea. The fish are kosher as long as they're in the sea, as long as they have the fins and scales. Focus on the here and now. Don't worry about what happens when you come out of the water. Don't worry about, am I going to be able to keep it up in Chanukah or Tu B'Shvat and Purim in December, November, and March. Don't worry about that. Sometimes the greatest things are accomplished when you don't worry about tomorrow, but you just focus on maximizing today. In fact, if you look at number 19, the Be'er HaChaim, the Lulav Rebbe says something so beautiful. He says again, Re'eh Anochi Nosim Lefnechem Hayom Bracha U'Klala. If you skip down to the underlined lines, Be'er Sefer Yisod Emunah Ki Hayom Miramis Abitachon Hasholim Shina Adam Mechashik Inyonav Elama Shenogea Lo La'osa Hayom. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells us explicitly, Re'eh Anochi Nosim Lefnechem Hayom Bracha U'Klala. All I'm asking you to do, guys, I'm not asking you to script the future for one simple reason, which is because you can't. We can't script the future. So what I'm asking for you today is to see, Re'eh Anochi Nosim Lefnechem Hayom Bracha U'Klala. I'm giving you today. And your choice, which you do have the power of, is how to use your today. So if we bring this all together, we have three major motifs in Chodesh Elul. We have the motif ultimately of proactive divine engagement. We can't wait to be inspired by God. We have to come to God. We have to figure out a way to bring ourselves closer back to our Baruch. We can't wait for Him to bring us back. We have to bring ourselves back. Number two, we can't just think about ourselves. We have to avoid egocentricity and think about what we can do for the other. And number three, we have to sometimes break the ongoing rhythms of life in order to ask ourselves, where are we going? What are we doing? What are we trying to accomplish? Because Elul is our year mikvah. So what I would suggest is to think about implementing these things over the course of a month is impossible. But perhaps when Rosh Chodesh Elul comes, B'Sha'at Torah U'Mitzlachos, this coming Tuesday, to maybe take a little bit of time each day to ask myself 3 questions. Number 1, how have I moved myself closer to God? Number 2, what have I done for someone else? And number 3, have I spent even just 2 minutes thinking about who I want to be, what I want to accomplish, and where I want to go? Don't make plans for a whole month. Don't make plans for a whole week. Just make plans for the day. And if we take the opportunity to ask ourselves those 3 questions, we take the opportunity to spend those few moments each and every day, we maximize each and every day, those days will become weeks. Those weeks will become Chodesh Elul. Chodesh Elul will turn into Tishrei and the subsequent months. And Rabbi, we should all be blessed by Chodesh Elul to have a beautiful year of health, of parnasa, of beautiful bracha, and most importantly, of beautiful geula.